Well, Chelsea hosts Cypriot side PAFOS Football Club in the match week 7 of the UEFA Champions League. It is must-win settings from Chelsea. Simple as that. If we are to try and reach the top 8 to avoid the playoffs in the Champions League Football Club. Well, I cannot believe we have reached this phase where we must win against PAFOS. We must win against Napoli in the next match week. David Luiz, a familiar sighting, spotted there on the bench. Whether or not he gets a bit of time, we'll wait and see. But he is a beloved Chelsea player. We'll never forget him for what he's done for the club. 2012 Champions League, 2016 Premier League under Antonio Conte, where he played the centre-back role like no one before. But it's all about getting the business done here. Win here will take us above Manchester City, and we're off and running. Kick-off here at the bridge. Chelsea making a whole host of changes with Philip Jorgensen in goal. The back four of Malo Gusto, Benoit Badiashile, Wesley Fofana and Jarell Hato. Midfield pairing of Moises Caicedo, Reece James. And the front three to supply Liam Delap will be Garnacho, Pedro Neto, and of course Enzo Fernandez in the number 10 position. No Cole Palmer, Estevao also missing from the starting 11. We know that PAFOS will be looking to play in that deep block and try and suffocate and frustrate Chelsea. It'll be up to us to try and break down the deep block here. Derek Lugerson on the ball here immediately. We'll wait and see how as to PAFOS are going to play here. A 2-0 loss to Juventus. 2-2 draw against Monaco. Their solitary win coming against Villarreal. Then a 0-0 draw against Kairat Almaty. A 0-0 draw against Olympiacos. And of course that 5-1 loss to Bayern Munich. So just shows you that PAFOS aren't an easy side to break open here just because they're a team from the Cypriot side. Well, they're second in their local leagues behind Nicosia. So you're expecting utter competence, that's for sure. It'll be up to Chelsea to try and break open the deep block here. With Pedro Neto and Garnacho, I'm going to say that I'm going to reserve my judgment. Not the ideal wing pairing for us, but with no Estevao in the starting 11, Jamie Gittins still trying to find his feet for the new club. We're going to have to make do with Neto and Garnacho. With Chelsea in the Champions League, it's been Jekyll and Hyde. That 3-0 victory against Barcelona, a long distant memory now after that 2-1 loss to Atalanta, which turned out to be Enzo Maresca's final Champions League game in charge of Chelsea. Of course, the 2-2 draw against Karabag, beating Benfica and Ajax. 5-1 against 10-man Ajax, 1-0 against Jose Mourinho's Benfica. And of course, we started off our Champions League campaign with that 3-1 loss away to Bayern Munich. Chelsea have a lot to do here, but it's going to be as simple as get the job done by winning your next two games. Then we'll see how it goes on. Goal difference might certainly play a part. We can't think too far ahead of ourselves because this team, under new stewardship in Liam Rossinier, just trying to start to find our feet here as Caicedo flips the ball onto the left-hand side. Garnacho immediately closed down and Jay Gorta just clears that away. Benoit Badiashile and Wesley Fofana, the two Frenchmen as our two centre-halves. Rarely seen them in the starting 11 together. Here's Pedro Neto to Reece James in midfield. Didn't feature against Brentford in that 2-0 victory at home, but that scoreline really did flatter us, I'm not going to lie. That was one of the painful watches at home for Chelsea. Liam Rossinier taking his fourth game in charge here. In 3 different competitions, started off with that 5-1 victory against Charlton in the FA Cup. That 2-3 loss at home to Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-finals. And then, of course, that 2-0 victory against Brentford in the Premier League as Garnacho being fouled there by Derek Lugerson. Chelsea looking for a fast start here, that's for sure. We have to get them on the back foot. I'd like to thank everyone tuning in. I have on my channel. Really do appreciate the support and you guys tuning in to the stream here, especially in a game where Chelsea are expected to win, but it's never too straightforward at the bridge, is it? Reece James with the captain's armband looking to whip this one in. The right-footed ball in from that far left-hand side. Might be a potent weapon for us. It's about 4 minutes on the clock. Chelsea yet to do much in open play. Reece James whips it towards the near post, easily cleared. And Chelsea's set pieces have been really poor the last couple of weeks. Oh, that's terrible control there by Pedro Neto under no pressure whatsoever. Just hands the initiative back to PAFOS. Liam Rosenior taking charge of his first Champions League game at the age of 41. How quickly life comes at you. I mean, he was managing Strasbourg in the UEFA Conference League. A couple months later, he's in the big time now. There's Ken Sema. Plays that into midfield to Vlad Dragomir, the skipper. And now Kostas Pilias. I think he's the only Cypriot national in the side. Long ball forward. Decent first touch. Badiashile does very well. Reece James marshalling the midfield here. He started at right back. And now back into midfield like he was. Oh, Chelsea are not able to control the ball here. It's been a terrible start. It's Wesley Fofana here. This time you can't bring the ball under control. I mean, basic control that Chelsea are lacking in the opening 5 minutes. This is enough encouragement for PAFOS, that's for sure. Looking at Chelsea, the side isn't glittered with talent. It's got a few good players. Other than that, there's a lot of young guns who are trying to make their name for themselves and improve for us. But these are the kind of games that Chelsea are expected to win with ease. Pepe finds Vlad Dragomir. Kostas Pilias. And Sema looking to push that forward. Wesley Fofana pushing very high up the pitch here, defending. We saw Liam Rosenior trying to implement that man-to-man press against Brentford. It did not work whatsoever. We were carved open. We were bullied in the air. I mean, that was one of the most forgettable games. The fact that we escaped 2-0 and that it was just a highway robbery. We had Rob Sanchez to thank, who's not in the fray today, with Philip Jorgensen between the sticks for us today. Foul there on, I think that was Dragomir, who just left a late one on Malo Gusto. And Chelsea's passing has not been crisp whatsoever. That's a bad challenge there by Jaja, the Brazilian. He just steps on the side of the ankle. Got a few Brazilians, a few Portuguese in this side. Of course, Mislav Orsic. All know about the Croatian. Has scored some spectacular goals in his career. Remember the one against Spurs when was that Jose Mourinho in charge? I'm not really sure if I remember who Spurs' manager was, but Orsic did score an absolute screamer as Reece James now misplaces the pass. I mean, Chelsea's passing in the opening 7 minutes has been dog shit. There's no other way to describe it. And coach Albert Cheladas will be very happy here. The way that Chelsea have been not able to pick passes, it's been really, really sloppy. Hasn't been an enjoyable watch whatsoever. This is where we're supposed to really stamp our authority and pop them off the pitch. Able to. Here's Sema again, looking to play the 1-2. Moises Caicedo, good bit of control there by Gusto. Liam Delap to Pedro Neto now. It's Pedro Neto takes the shot. It's well blocked. Chelsea now trying to play on the ascendancy. Jarell Hato's pass is so bad. Oh my word, Chelsea get a grip. But Hato shows great recovery pace. But it's a throw in for PAFOS. Again, Pedro Neto, I don't understand why he's shooting there, man. Every time he's so predictable with his actions. I am tired of Chelsea's number 7, man. I heard Gary Neville say that he mentioned Pedro Neto and Eden Hazard in the same breath. I mean, if that's something to revoke your punditry license, that statement alone is good enough. I mean, his close control, his dribbling, it's just so far. It's so bad, man. He's a great counter-attacking threat for us. Head down, push and run, and try and feed the ball first time into the box, but if you're trying to break a deep block, Pedro Neto is not that man. Injury here for PAFOS in the early stages. I will be keeping an eye on the other scorelines as well. Those watching live, please help me out in the live chat if there are any sort of updates in terms of Liverpool against Marseille. Newcastle is taking on PSV. Apologies for that, as Chelsea 14th in the Champions League group stages, looking to avoid the playoffs. In order to do that, we have to finish in the top 8. We've given ourselves an almighty task. Liam Rossigna cannot be happy with the start so far. In terms of the passing, it's been nowhere near the levels. Haven't really dominated territory. I mean, PAFOS are looking comfortable here at the bridge. For a side from Cyprus, the last time we played a team from Cyprus is Apoel Nicosia in 2009-2010 under Carlo Ancelotti. I remember the Michael Essien and Didier Drogba goal. Did it finish 2-2 or was it 2-0? I can't remember that scoreline though, but I do remember those two goals. Side-footed finishes. Some memories are just burnt in your mind, isn't it? Even if they're pretty much offbeat. Here's Wesley Fofana. Shifts it onto the right-hand side to Pedro Neto now. Looking to take on Ken Sema. Goes on the inside. Neto. Good bit of play. Pedro Neto looks to curl that into the top corner. Well, somebody tell Pedro Neto to stop shooting, man. He's doing well, but fine passes. Where he feels that he's up against inferior opposition and he can try and do whatever he pleases like, but he's not that kind of player. Just do your job, Pedro. Newcastle have scored against PSV. Slavia Praha are up 1-0 up against Barcelona. What's happening with Barcelona, man? I mean, yes, we beat them 3-0 and we probably got really gassed up because of the level of performance. We have to remember that Ronald Araujo was sent off in the first half for that absolutely needless second yellow. But since then, I think they had a couple of draws and now not the best possible start. They did lose to Real Sociedad at the weekend. Again, look at that terrible pass for Benoit Badiashile and Wesley Fofana. Centre halves not finding their rhythm. Here's Reece James to Jarell Hato. He's the one who scored the first goal under Liam Rossigna. It was an absolute cracker, mind you. Left-footed volley against Charlton away. Here's Fofana. Reece James. We haven't threatened Jay Gotter in goal once so far. Just a couple of pop shots by Pedro Neto in the early stages. PAFOS not in a deep block here, but Chelsea's defenders are playing at the halfway line. Garnacho to Enzo Fernandez, having his first involvement. Badiashile to Reece James now. Between the lines to Liam Delap. And Delap trying to drag the centre defenders out of position. James finds Pedro Neto. Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto is somebody who might be thriving in the system under Liam Rossigna. The fullbacks now being utilized as proper fullbacks rather than being inverted, especially down the right-hand side. Jarell Hato, we've seen him in those advanced 10 positions. It's Garnacho holding the width down the left-hand side, trying to play the 1-2 with Enzo Fernandez. That's a terrible pass. Enzo Fernandez. Everybody in the Chelsea lineup has been guilty of a poor pass in the early stages. Hasn't been ideal. The start has been anything but. We thought that maybe we can go out there and really flex our muscles, get a lot of goals. Looking at the early stages, just get the win, Chelsea. We'll worry about goal difference later. We've got Antonio Conte's Napoli next. I mean, that can be a really tricky tie. There's Caicedo. Finally served all his suspensions. We need Moises Caicedo to be back at his best. That's for sure. As a long punt forward. Malo Gusto brings that under control. It was a difficult ball. He does very well, the Frenchman. Pedro Neto. Now to Reece James. Badiashile, Jarell Hato. Chelsea being patient now. Now the passing is a lot more crisper. Finally settled in. Here's Enzo Fernandez, the number 8, playing in the number 10 position today. No Cole Palmer in the starting 11. No need to risk him Again, Palmer has been nowhere near his level since returning from that groin injury. Some say that he might need surgery. Wait and see, but Cole Palmer needs to be back at his best here. Here's Jaja. Again, good work there by Malo Gusto. Last touch comes off the winger. Throw in for Chelsea. Here's Moises Caicedo. On to the left-hand side is Alejandro Garnacho. Did miss that absolute sitter against Brentford at the weekend just before half-time. Pedro Neto had put in a brilliant ball into the box on the counter-attack. Had to score, somehow missed, and missed by a mile as Reece James floats this towards the back stick. Decent delivery. Enzo Fernandez, box crashing, can't get there. Goal kick for PAFOS. Well, coach Albert Lopez, we're very, very pleased with the start here. Chelsea playing hopeful balls in the box, taking shots from distance. Nothing really that's troubled Jay Gota so far. Enzo trying to bring that down. 15 minutes on the clock. Liam Rossinier will be very indifferent to the start here. Garnacho pinches the ball. Again, look at Garnacho's pass, man. How can he not find Enzo's feet? But Enzo Fernandez does brilliantly. He's in the box now. Turns away from trouble. It's Reece James. It's Reece James with the strike. Oh, my word. That was... Oh, it's wide. I thought it rattled the back of the net there. What a strike that was from Reece James. Brilliant work there from Enzo Fernandez. Lovely turn. It's a sharp one. Reece James lines this one up. Oh, that is so, so close. It definitely fooled me. Reece James can strike the ball. There's Moises Caicedo with a needless foul there on Vlad Dragomir. Ball shifted onto the right-hand side for Felipe. Now driving forward is the Brazilian. Decent ball in. Badiashile deals with the trouble. Ooh, Chelsea taking a bit of a chance. Reece James press resistance on display. And it does very well. Enzo Fernandez switches it out to Malo Gusto down the right-hand side. Moises Caicedo. Perfect switched out to Alejandro Garnacho. With the step over. Now trying to go on the outside. Outside of the boot pass. It's pretty good. Again, Liam Delap has not made the run in those central areas. Chelsea keep it alive. Pedro Neto now. Cross comes into the box. Shove there. It's 1-0 this time. Enzo Fernandez. Is the offside flag up? Is there a foul? Enzo Fernandez sees the goal disallowed. Who's offside here? Is there a push? Liam Rossinier is confused. So am I. Brilliant work there from Enzo Fernandez once again. He really has mastered that box crashing role, hasn't he? Lovely ball in by Pedro Neto. It's a gentle push on the back. It's a great spot by the referee. Again, that's not too much contact, is there? It's a cracking header. Enzo Fernandez can't believe it, but I think the foul will stay because there's two hands on the back. Enzo Fernandez has to be careful not to wave the finger at the ref. Seen him show a bit of petulance with the referees. Garnacho helps out defensively and Chelsea can reset here. It's a good ball there by Pedro Neto. Tried to find the head of Liam Delap, but it was Enzo Fernandez who made the run towards the back stick. Here's Wesley Fofana now. And Chelsea can be in the back three here if Malo Gusto is going to play as our auxiliary winger. Jarell Hato, Benoit Badiashile and Wesley Fofana on the right-hand side. Here's Fernandez. Badiashile. Reece James onto the right-hand side to Pedro Neto, who has been bright. Always buzzing around here, finding Reece James. To Malo Gusto. Good rotations here from Chelsea. And good practice to try and break down the low block. Here's Badiashile. Chelsea have to exercise patience, that's for sure. And PAFOS are 29th out of the 32 teams. Again, pass just nearly left short. Again, the expectations will be on Chelsea to really not just win but rack up the goals, especially at home as Pedro Neto tries to get past Ken Sema. So in for Chelsea. Into the 20th minute. Chelsea had the ball in the back of the net, courtesy of Enzo Fernandez, but that was disallowed as the vice-captain was adjudged to have just pushed Derek Lucassen. Jarell Hato finds Enzo Fernandez to Garnacho. Good bit of skill to beat one, trying to do too much by his lonesome. His passing nowhere near his best attribute there for Alejandro Garnacho. Did score that brace against Arsenal at home in that Carabao Cup semi-final first leg. Gave us a glimmer of hope in the second leg, but I don't see how we beat Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium considering the form the Gunners have been at. Liam Delap immediately closed down. And good composure shown by PAFOS. Coach Albert Lopez will be very, very thrilled with the opening 20 minutes here. Here's Moises Caicedo. Nice line breaker to Enzo Fernandez. Clearly a foul there by Pepe. Or it's Felipe rather. Made the foul. Number 7 drifting in the central areas, trying to keep an eye on Enzo Fernandez. As we have a look at the disallowed goal again. I mean, to call that a push, it's pretty harsh. But if you have two hands on the back, and you can see Liam Rosinia saying that that is not a foul. Free kick here for Chelsea. Might have to rely on set pieces and balls in the box. Reece takes it short though. Malo Gusto could score a couple of goals under Enzo Maresca after going nearly 99 games without a goal, as Caicedo looks to cross the ball into the box. Please don't do that, Moises. Just keep it simple. Do what you're good at. Alejandro Garnacho put under pressure. Here's Reece James now. Chelsea need to just quicken the tempo here. Move the ball a lot quicker. Try and play through the central areas rather than just go wide and put crosses into the box. Badiashile to Jarell Hato. Back to the Frenchman Badiashile. Chelsea being very safe with their passes. And very nice to see Reece James and Moises Caicedo's positioning in terms of the distances of the pivot. Here's Caicedo. Malo Gusto crosses into the box. It's Fernandez again. Cleared away. Jarell Hato attacking the box. Finds Alejandro Garnacho. Clever pass to Pedro Neto. Here's Jarell Hato, who keeps himself on side. It's not going to be a handball. Never. But Chelsea players appealing in the hopes of trying to get a pen. Here's Caicedo. Now Chelsea stepping up the tempo. It's got to be relentless. It's got to be wave after wave of attack. Malo Gusto. Again, passes have to find feet here. It's a very poor pass there by Malo, but Wesley Fofana recovers. Here's Enzo Fernandez now. Again, looks for the switch. Very good pass. Even better touch there by Pedro Neto. Here's Neto. Again, cross comes in. He's just spamming crosses now, Pedro Neto. He's seen one work, so he might just keep doing it. Jarell Hato loses out possession. Moises Caicedo sweeps up in the middle of the park. Here's Reece James now onto the left-hand side. Finds Alejandro Garnacho. Chelsea need that goal swiftly. Look at what Garnacho's doing, man. How is he wrestling with the ball? There's no pressure on you. Go do something. Caicedo does very well. Our wingers are so frustrating, man. That's why I'm really hoping Jamie Gittins tries and fulfill some of that potential. I mean, he's been nowhere near the levels, plays in a very timid fashion, but he's got so much ability. I mean, if you compare the dribbling of Garnacho and Jamie Gittins, it's not even close. It's not even on the same stratosphere. That's how different their dribbling styles is. Alejandro Garnacho almost feels like he's struggling to keep the ball under control, but what Garnacho has over Gittins is his relentlessness and his ability to finish at the back post. He's got a decent return in terms of goals and assists. I think it's 9 in all comps. Goals and assists, that is. Might be wrong, but PAFOS playing out the press here. Chelsea have been suffocating them. Oh my word, Gusto, what a chance you have taken there. Malo Gusto, come on, man. I mean, great composure shown by Philip Jorgensen, but Malo Gusto, you cannot be playing a pass blind like that. The last thing Chelsea have to do here is to self-destruct. I mean, we are fully capable of doing so. Here's Fofana. Pedro Neto. 25th minute. Chelsea still looking for the opening goal. Good time to try and see the other results. What's up, Manny? Catch all right. You say, come on, Chelsea. It's been a very so-and-so performance so far. Need to see a lot more. Pedro Neto. Here's Fofana. Reece James. Badiashile. Again, good deep block employed here by PAFOS as Pedro Neto goes along the outside. Brilliant play there by Neto. Cross comes into the box. Once again looking to aim that at Fernandez. Just goes over the Argentine and it's a throw in. Annie, you want me to tell you something about PAFOS? Alright. Well, they're second in the league behind Nicosia. I think they're 5 points behind the league leaders with a game in hand. What is that? They've got just the one league win in the Champions League. In the group stages, that is, to Villarreal. Draws to Monaco, Kairat Almaty, Olympiacos. And then, of course, a couple of losses to Bayern Munich and Juventus. That's all I know about PAFOS. Just a bit of research before pre-match. Yep, how can the ref give that a foul? I mean, that was the harshest of foul. It was a gentle touch. And the centre-back went down like a ton of bricks. Should have been 1-0. Manny slightly impressed. Man's always prepared. What do you think we're doing out here in the stream, man? Ball shifted onto the right-hand side. Here's Neto. Reece James to Wesley Fofana. And Chelsea dominating territory and possession, as we expect. Still need to pepper Jay Gotter in goal, that's for sure. Here's Badiashile. Jarell Hato. In the centre-backs getting a lot of touches. As Fofana shifts it to Pedro Neto. He's got a bit of space up against Ken Sema. And puts the cross into the box. Well, Pedro Neto keeps putting those balls into the box. And PAFOS keep defending the way. It's a corner for Chelsea. Alejandro Garnacho attacking the back post there. Good defensive work there by Derek Lucassen. You can see Garnacho just trying to make himself available at the back stick. Corner for Chelsea. Reece James looking to whip this ball into the box. Wesley Fofana having a joke with Felipe. Ball into the box. Again, we keep aiming for that near post. It's a clear tactic that Chelsea have deployed over the past few months. We keep aiming for that front post. Anderson Silva, the Brazilian centre forward, heads that away. He's barely had an impact in terms of forward play. But in terms of the first objective being completed here by PAFOS. They're very much on it here. 0-0 with nearly 30 minutes on the clock. Chelsea really struggling to break down the deep block here. Reece James's ball again. Better. Punched away by Gorda. And now Jaja with a heavy touch. Just shows too much to it to Malo Gusto. Caicedo picks the ball up. Finds Enzo Fernandez. Enzo wrestling there and now looking to clip the ball in. Enzo once again with the foul there, this time on Vlad Dragomir. I think that was spotted by the linesman rather than the official. And surely you didn't spot it, but he says that he saw it. Enzo Fernandez feels that, I want to see what kind of, what is that from Enzo Fernandez, man? It's a two-handed push. What are you trying to do? Never going to get away with that. Good spot by the official, whether that was the ref or the linesman. Albert Lopez, coach of PAFOS, should be very, very happy with this one. Into the 29th minute, Chelsea really struggling. I mean, Liam Delap has had maybe 2 or 3 touches in this match so far. Come on, do more. Show for the ball. Here's Lucassen, put under pressure there by Garnacho. Throw in for PAFOS. Into the 30th minute, Liam Rossignol is taking notes, and it seems that page 1 is already filled. Certainly improvements can be made. Our wing play has been so underwhelming. Garnacho up against a Cypriot side. Should definitely do better. I mean, they are Champions League quality. I use the word quality very loosely because of the number of teams that are in there and the countries they represent. But yeah, participating in the Champions League is a huge feat and an honor for most clubs. Chelsea expected to go through, but we need to win. We need to win today, and we need to beat Napoli. Otherwise, we go through playoffs, and that can be very, very tricky in a two-legged tie. Last thing Chelsea want is more games. Again, Wesley Fofana just caught so slow with his passing. Reece James does very well. Here's Neto. Malo Gusto looks to play the 1-2. Does not come off. Jaja does very well to keep the ball under duress. Here's Ken Sema. Very calmly done. Pepe back to Sema. Dragomir. Beautiful football this from PAFOS. Switch of play to Felipe. They try to beat the Chelsea press. Chelsea relentless, but PAFOS keep playing out here. Beautifully done. Here's Dragomir. And they shifted forward here. Excellent attack. Reece James is going to pick up a yellow card if he's not careful. Referee waves play on here. Here's Jaja down the left-hand side. First attack for the away side. As Jaja looks to curl that in. Deflection. Oh, hits the post. Chelsea's so lucky. Well, the PAFOS players are appealing for a pen. It might have come off the arm of Reece James. Now has Reece James extended his arm? We'll wait and see. But that's the first attack the away side have had. And they nearly score. Let's have a look here. Jaja looks to curl this into the top corner. Reece James's arm is tucked to his body. It does strike his arm. But you can't be giving that as a pen, that's for sure. He's pulled his arm towards his body. He should be fine. The PAFOS fans desperate for VAR to try and overturn that decision. Yep, that's not going to be a pen. But my, oh my. They could have very easily scored. Hitting the post completely wrong-footing Jorgensen. Don't worry, Manny, that's never a pen. Even refs who are quote-unquote on the take with so many cameras can't get away with that one. Here's Malo Gusto. Shoved off the ball. Couple of fouls there. First on Gusto and then on Liam Delap. Liam Delap bullied. If there's ever a time for Liam Delap to score, this would be it. His first goal for Chelsea did come against Barcelona at the Bridge. Was the third goal, which Enzo Fernandez, I remember, just played that across the face of goal. It was judged as offside, but then VAR overturned that decision and did score against Fulham in that 2-1 defeat at Craven Cottage. Yellow card for Orsic for just kicking the ball away. Needless petulance there from the Croatian. Mislav Orsic, I mean, he knew the game was going to be stopped. He still decides to thump the ball away. Free kick for Chelsea. I mean, I can't believe we've gone this long. For all the play that Chelsea have had, it's been PAFOS who've had the best opportunity in the match. Took a deflection of Reece. Jorgensen was completely wrong-footed. The post saved our bacon here. Here's Fofana. Reece James. Chelsea have been very underwhelming in this first half. Here's Benoit Badiashile. James again. Onto the right-hand side to Malo Gusto. Pedro Neto operating in the half spaces. That's not his strong suit. He's a touchline winger. But it's Malo Gusto offering the width down the right-hand side. Whips the ball into the box. Takes a deflection and out for a corner. Dragomir does very well, the number 10 and the skipper, making sure that he makes up the numbers. And Chelsea's tactic has been just to cross balls into the box. Liam Delap has not gotten in the end of any of them. Reece James looking to whip this ball into the box. Into the 35th minute. Chelsea had a goal disallowed. That header by Enzo Fernandez, and PAFOS coming very close as Luckerson clears, and it's another corner for Chelsea. Better ball in there by Reece James. Derek Luckerson is convinced that there was a push on him. Come on, Reece. Delivery has to be better. Reece James delivers. Better ball in. Headed away. Recycles well. Liam Delap tries to head that. Caicedo! What a save! Goto brings that down. Garnacho goes on the outside. Ball into the box. Badiashile! Oh, it's just wide. Chelsea coming very, very close. 10 minutes remaining in the second half. That strike from Moises Caicedo. I thought it was going to find the back of the net there. Lovely first touch. It's a brilliant save there by Goto. It's through a few bodies. As Garnacho clipped the ball into the box, and Badiashile's header, he's just tried to use the pace on the cross and just direct that towards the back stick. And that's the best opportunity that we have had. Oh, that was very close. Very, very close to the opener. Philip Jorgensen getting involved in our build-up. Hato has been closed down. Chelsea win the ball back fairly according to the referee. There's Enzo Fernandez to Moises Caicedo. Good pass there by Moy, finding Malo Gusto. Decent feed to Wesley Fofana. Here's Reece James. Caicedo. Delap. Delap with the strike. Might have taken a deflection. Yes, it has. It's another corner for Chelsea. The corner count now being racked up. 9 minutes plus added on time remaining in this first half. Chelsea desperately seeking the opener at the bridge. Came close in the previous attack with Caicedo pulling off a decent strike. Goto with the save. Ball cleared away. Jaja just happy to just hook that out to touch, and it's a throw into Chelsea. Chelsea now looking to finally step up the intensity. Again, the early stages for Liam Rossignol will be just win games. Tries to play the 1-2. Enzo Fernandez trying to feed Alejandro Garnacho. That's a poor pass there by Enzo. Overhit there for his countryman there. It's a goal kick for PAFOS. Rob Sanchez, Andres Santos, Mark Guiu, Mark Cucurella, all on the bench. Liam Rossignol is just having a word with Mark Guiu. Did score against Charlton. I think that was the third goal out of the fifth. Was a straightforward tap in, but poacher's instinct. There's Benoit Badiashile finding Jarell Hato. Chelsea once again going in there. Calm rhythm. Reece James fires this pass to Liam Delap. Garnacho goes on the inside. Enzo Fernandez, great feet. Might be a foul, and it is. Needless there by Derek Luckerson. It's a foul at the edge of the box. Set piece opportunity for Chelsea. Good drag back there by Enzo Fernandez. Inviting the challenge from the centre half right in front of the ref. Clear foul there by Luckerson. Can have no complaints. Still complaints. Free kick for Chelsea. This might just be Reece James' territory here. Scored that outrageous free kick at St. James's Park. Chelsea were 2-0 down at half time. Reece James pulled out that strike from nearly 30 yards out. That one was a lot central. This one closer to goal, but a very tight angle. Jay Goto just making sure that he arranges his wall and makes sure that Reece James doesn't try to sneak it in terms of the curler. Pedro Neto, hopefully he's just a dummy. And Reece James, that's a poor free kick there right into the wall. It's a good time to have a look at the other scores, but Chelsea Still have the attack going here, maybe in a bit. Liverpool against Marseille is one that I'm going to be very curious about. That would have been a good game. Roberto De Zerbi against Arne Slot. I think Ethan Nwaneri went on loan to Marseille, didn't he? That was announced a couple of days back. Nwaneri getting no minutes under Mikel Arteta after the purchase of Noni Madueke and Eberiche Eze. Big fan of Nwaneri in terms of his ability, but such has been the competition for places for league leaders Arsenal. Well, 7 points clear in the Premier League, 7 wins out of 7 in the Champions League group stages. Ominous signs for the rest of Europe. Here's Moises Caicedo. Again, Liam Delap not able to link up. Good challenge there by Caicedo. The ball breaks kindly. Final 5 minutes of the first half. Chelsea have had a few opportunities, but nowhere near enough. Albert Lopez will be absolutely thrilled with this first half. Can go in at 0-0. Be a dream half for them. The lap does better that time. Here's Pedro Neto. No one to cross into. Now on his left foot. Ken clips the ball into the box. Oh my word, Pedro Neto, please stop this. He just puts in aimless balls into the box, man. Just hoping somebody attacks the back stick. But come on. And he has to deliver that early. Garnacho tries to bend his run and try and be onside. He's on his heels, and Liam Rosenior cannot be happy with this first half. Might say otherwise in his press conferences. Been a very positive guy. 4 minutes plus added on time remaining. Come on, Chelsea. Just get the goal, man, before half time. This cannot be such a difficult game. Here's Delap. Does well. Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, again, so selfish. Just find the pass. Fernandez does much better there. Surely not a foul. It's Caicedo. What a strike. Even better save there by Jay Gorda. Well, that's 2 strikes by Moises Caicedo. This one, a fulminating drive there. Real pace on it. Here's Fofana. Shots from distance. Just might be Chelsea's route. Was trying to get an opener. What a pass that is to Caicedo. Gusto puts that into the box. And Alejandro Garnacho, that is the most terrible of cutbacks or attempts of a cutback. It's almost like he's unprepared for it as Caicedo finds himself at right wing. Whips the ball into the box. It's cleared away. The crosses keep on coming. Chelsea no success though. Reece James trying to batter there as Benoit Badiashile loses out the duel, and here's Jaja down the left hand side. Caicedo does well. Chelsea on the attack once again. Pedro Neto, that is a beautiful challenge there from Jaja. He had no right to get that, but clean as a whistle. Here's Jaja again. Keeps it short. Kostas Pilias turns around to find his goalkeeper, who's been slightly more busy in the last 5 minutes. Moises Caicedo keeping him honest. Ivan Sunjic, the Bosnian midfielder. Decent clip pass to Ken Sema. Caicedo gets there first, but not able to bring that under control, and it's a throw in for PAFOS. Great strike there by Caicedo, but it was straight at Jay Gorda. Did very well to just parry that out of the danger area. Newcastle are 2-0 up. Takes them into third, if I'm not mistaken. Quite incredible that Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United, who have had their struggles in the lead, no such problems in the Champions League though. Here's Pepe. Moves it onto the left-hand side, trying to have some sort of possession for the half-time whistle as Jay Gorda goes for the diagonal. Great switch there. Even better control. Outstanding there from Felipe. And Alejandro Garnacho on the stretch. What a challenge that was from him. Felipe with that lovely bit of chest control and turn. And then driving down that right-hand side. Final minute of normal time here. It's 0-0 at the bridge against the Cypriot side. Here's Garnacho. Again goes around the outside. Gets another corner. I've lost count of the number of corners that Chelsea have had in this first half. Haven't really made use of any of them. Well, the fans who have made the journey from Cyprus be very, very happy. That is very fortunate because that's not a corner. Felipe has a right to complain about that decision. The last touch clearly coming off Garnacho. It will be really, really cruel on PAFOS if Chelsea are to score from this corner. Enzo Fernandez at the near post. Liam Delap battling with Vlad Dragomir for a bit of space as Reece James delivers. And out for a goal kick. Justice for PAFOS. Again, I don't understand why we don't mix it up in terms of corners. I mean, Reece James is capable of flinging one towards the back stick, but he keeps targeting that near post. Certainly an instruction from the set piece coach. Was that Brendan Cuevas? Have to do better. Liam Rossignol cannot be happy with this first half here. Yes, possession, territory, shots, all the metrics will be in Chelsea's favour. But it's 0-0 at the bridge at half time. A couple of very shoddy performances at home. One against Brentford and now 45 minutes against PAFOS. 2 minutes of stoppage time in the first half has been signalled. Here's Reece James. Shifts it onto the right-hand side to Pedro Neto. Neto keeps it short to Reece James again. Got a minute left. Chelsea need to create at least a good opportunity before the half-time whistle. Here's Jarell Hato. Badiashile, Fofana. Malo Gusto. Again, very good deep block here deployed by Albert Lopez's side. Fofana again. Chelsea just playing sideways and backwards here. Enzo Fernandez looking to unlock the defense. Reece James surveying his options. Decent pass to Liam Delap. Caicedo brilliant. It's Jarell Hato. It's another brilliant save. Jay Gota very busy in the last 10 minutes. That was much better there from Liam Delap in terms of link-up. Surely this is the final attack for Chelsea before the half-time whistle. Reece James. Chelsea need to get the ball into the box swiftly here. Referee has had a look at his watch. And he blows the whistle for the half-time. Jarell Hato nearly opening the scoring here. Brilliant play there. Caicedo. What a pass that was to Jarell Hato. Again, he went for the near post. Might have been wiser to go low down towards the far stick, but it's 0-0 at half-time. Not the kind of scoreline we were expecting at the bridge against 29th place PAFOS from Cyprus, but the Chelsea players leading a bit of an inquest. But it's been a below par first half. Slightly better in the last 10 minutes, getting more and more shots on Jay Goto's goal, but he has been up to the task so far. Couple of Moises Caicedo efforts. Jarell Hato right at the end of the first half, getting a strike on target, but it's 0-0, and I think PAFOS have thoroughly deserved going into the break level. Well, I'll be back for the second half. This has been a tough watch, to say the very least, expecting a comfortable Chelsea victory. How foolish of me. That 2-2 draw against Karabakh away just meant that Chelsea have that tendency to drop levels against oppositions who are, again, quote-unquote, inferior. But PAFOS, a Champions League caliber side, have come out, defended with heart, with courage, and a lot of quality. And they do have their goalkeeper to thank to keep it at 0-0 at half-time. Chelsea looking to climb up the table. I think we're 13th as it stands. Let me have a quick look. We are 13th. Barcelona playing out a 2-2 draw against Slavia Praha. What the hell is happening there? Newcastle 2-0 up against PSV. 0-0 at the Estadio Velodrome. Marseille and Liverpool playing out a 0-0 first half. Chelsea really struggling, needing 3 points here. Nothing else matters, as I'll see you guys for the start of the second half very shortly. Well, Chelsea simply have to do a lot better in the second half in terms of trying to break down a low block. It's been really, really poor. Just put in a lot of crosses into the box, shots from distance, nothing intricate in and around the box. Just saw that in the final minute where Moises Caicedo slipped Jarell Hato through, but we need to do a lot more if we are trying to break down the PAFOS defense. 0-0 at halftime as Albert Lopez's side will be absolutely thrilled with what they have done so far, with Chelsea trying to get 3 points here. It's going to be hard work. Our last Champions League game was that 2-1 loss to Atalanta. Charles de Keteler's goal in the 80th minute, if I'm not mistaken, gave them all 3 points at the Bergamo. Chelsea simply must get 3 points here. Anything less will be an absolute travesty, especially at home. We saw against Brentford, we ended up 2-0 victors, but that was far from a convincing performance. I think Liverpool scored right at the end of the first half, didn't they, with Dominic Szoboszlai. Let me just have a check. Yep, Szoboszlai scoring in stoppage time. Been very few goals. The Slavia Prague-Barcelona game is absolutely crazy. I mean, Kuset scored. Fermin Lopez scored a brace then. Then Lewandowski's own goal meant that Slavia Praha at home 2-2 against Barcelona. Barca 15th in the group stages. Not what Hansi Flick would have hoped for. Bayern Munich are 0-0 against Union St. Gilles. Newcastle 2-0 up against PSV Eindhoven. Johan Wissa and Anthony Gordon getting a couple of goals there at Tyneside. Just have a look at the Chelsea bench. Certainly have to use the bench in terms of the attacking threat. Achimpong, Emenalo, Cucurella, Chalobah, Santos, Reggie Walsh, Estevao, Gittins, Joao Pedro, Mark Guiu and Tyreek George all on the bench. I mean, our wingers have been really, really poor. Pedro Neto and Alejandro Garnacho, every time they start, especially against deep blocks, almost feel like we're going to get nothing from the wings. Estevao, as soon as he comes onto the pitch, I'm sure will be a lot more threatening, especially down that right hand side. Joao Pedro, can he come on and try and affect the game? Scored an absolute cracker of a finish against Brentford in that first half. It was ruled out for offside, but then VAR's check, and that Joao Pedro was just about onside. Gittins and Estevao, I think that has to be a no-brainer. Bring those two on and just improve our wing play. Thought Gittins was pretty good against Charlton. Match week 7 in the Champions League. Chelsea with wins against Barcelona, Ajax and Benfica. Losses to Atalanta and Bayern Munich. And then that 2-2 draw against Karabag. It's been a hit and miss of a group stages for Chelsea. Not showing the level of consistency that we need here as the PAFOS players going through their final bit of tactics. Ivan Sunjic and Pepe in midfield have kept things tight. Rob Sanchez has got his gloves on. I'm very surprised. Has to be an injury to Philip Jorgensen, that's for sure. You rarely see a goalkeeper coming on at half time. It's not an injury. We'll wait and see what the reasoning is. Yes, Estevao Willian is coming on. I mean, he's 18 years of age and he's our best winger by far at the club. 50 million for Pedro Neto, 50 million for Jamie Gittins, 40 million for Alejandro Garnacho. Almost feels like Chelsea have just set a lot of money on fire, but Estevan Willian, he is the future, but now he has to be the present for us. Reece James has taken his place on the bench, which means that Enzo Fernandez will drop into the pivot. I think Estevan Willian might be playing as a number 10 now. Interesting call here by Liam Rossinier, but by the looks of it, might be Pedro Neto who's going to be the number 10 for us. That can never end well. I'm very surprised, as we're off and running for the start of the second half here. Chelsea simply must win. There's no two ways around it. We thought about beefing up our goal difference. Don't see that happening unless Chelsea somehow click into gear in the second half. Felipe trying to just venture forward. Last touch comes off Garnacho. Joao Pedro's taken off his bib. Rob Sanchez, second half goalkeeper for us. Philip Jorgensen had absolutely nothing to do in the first half, but nearly got beaten there after that deflected effort. Completely wrong-footed him. That effort came off the post. Chelsea have had a few decent opportunities. Moises Caicedo with two very good strikes, both saved very well by Jay Gorder. And of course Jarell Hato right at the end of the first half after some excellent combination play between Liam Delap and Moises Caicedo. Chelsea have to step it up here. And with Estevan Willian on the pitch, things could get electric for Chelsea down that right hand side. Here's Ken Sema striding forward with the ball. Wesley Fofana. Oh, the challenge has been broken and Sema is through here. Felipe is free at the far stake. Fofana with a cracking challenge. And Malo Gusto shows great strength and Fofana clears. Nervy moment there for Chelsea. Ken Sema just continued his run after breaking through the challenge of Wesley Fofana. Fofana has to do better on that occasion, but good recovery pace shown by the Frenchman. That was a very good challenge there by Wesley Fofana. That little attack will give PAFOS a bit of confidence. In Pedro Neto in the central areas, I mean, I cannot believe Liam Rossinier decided that's the second half tactic. Yes, Estevan Willian needed to be on the pitch, but I'd rather prefer Estevan in the central areas rather than Pedro Neto, that's for sure. As Estevan goes for the switch to Garnacho. Good bit of chest control, wrestles away from Pepe. And Felipe does very well. Here's Orsic. First time you're seeing him run with the ball. There's Mislav Orsic on the right hand side. Caicedo for company. Pass there as Dragomir now finds Ivan Sunjic to Pepe. Pepe goes to his centre half. Here's Costas Plias. Again, good movement here from PAFOS. Fofana does very well once again. Oh, Estevan loses the ball. 3 minutes into the second half, and it's been PAFOS who's come out as the most attacking side. Here's Sema again. Breaks through one of the challenges. Fofana does well, and I think that is a corner, and it is. First corner for PAFOS. 3 minutes into the second half. Ken Sema has kept busting his gut to get down that left-hand side. Getting a lot of encouragement from his coach to keep making those runs and try and attack Chelsea's right-hand side. Mislav Orsic will take this corner. Right-footed ball into the box with Sanchez. There for cross collections. Chelsea should be better, but they play it short. There's Pepe back to Orsic. Oh, that's a terrible ball in by Mislav Orsic. There's a chance there for PAFOS to try and deliver something of substance. Albert Lopez will be disappointed with the quality of the delivery. Chelsea need to wake up here. Still haven't really gotten out of the dressing room by the looks of it. 4 minutes into the second half. There's Jarell Hato. Had very little to do in terms of defensive work. I think now we'll see Moises Caicedo is the lone 6, and Enzo Fernandez continuing to be one of the 10s for Chelsea. Here's Wesley Fofana now. Pedro Neto down the right hand side. Chelsea having a lot of width down the right hand side in terms of Neto, Estevao and Malo Gusto. Here's Badiashile. Jarell Hato. Good bit of play there from the former Ajax captain, 19 years of age, nearly 100 appearances for Ajax at the tender age. 2 caps for Netherlands. Starting to get a bit more game time under under Liam Rosinha. I keep saying Enzo Maresca. Here's Badiashile. Enzo Fernandez in the half space. Finds Alejandro Garnacho. Again, Garnacho just tries an aimless ball into the box. Well defended. Cleared away. Chelsea continue their attack here. Garnacho finds Enzo Fernandez down the left hand side. Poor pass there. Felipe does very well and shows great composure. PAFOS have knocked it around quite well when they do have the chance, but that's a poor pass. Jarell Hato on the front foot, but he loses out. There's Ivan Sunjic, and Hato does very well. There's Wesley Fofana. Pedro Neto. Estevao Willian down the right hand side. In all Chelsea in terms of ball possession, but I think in terms of territory, PAFOS have had quite a few opportunities as Malo Gusto looked to put the ball into the box. Go to try to prevent the corner, but doesn't succeed, and it's a corner for the Blues. Yep. Ball clearly going out of play as Chelsea looking. Well, maybe set pieces might be the route, but no Reece James now. Pedro Neto looking to take the corner on his left foot. The in-swinger whipped in, decent ball in, it's cleared away. Jaja looking to turn on the afterburners. Great pace shown there, but that pass just a bit all over the shop. Here's Moises Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez shifts it onto the right hand side. Chelsea have 40 minutes to score at least a goal here. I trust the boys will get it done, but my word, it's been a real drag at the bridge. Here's Malo Gusto. Good pass to Liam Delap. Enzo Fernandez. Clever pass. Estevao! Oh, brilliant save. Estevao on the volley and immediately riles up the crowd there. Great pick out there by Enzo Fernandez. This is excellent from Estevao. He's clearly onside. Right-footed shot. We know that Estevao does pack a punch with his weaker right foot. Pedro Neto once again with the ball into the box. It's headed away. Should be able to clear the danger. Pepe takes a couple of insurance touches and tries to get that out of trouble. Ken Sema does very well. Here's Anderson Silva. He's been robbed off the ball by Pedro Neto. Chelsea looking to turn it on now. Here's Caicedo. Estevao on the left hand side. Leaves one player on the deck and then tries to drift infield. Silva helps out defensively and PAFOS can look to clear. Oh, that's poor there from Felipe. One for Chelsea. What is Garnacho doing? I mean, both his feet were clearly inside. I mean, how did the ref not spot this? Albert Lopez did. Cross comes into the box. It's Garnacho. Oh, come on. Get a touch on it, man. He's so clumsy, man. Alejandro Garnacho. He has to do a lot to win me over. Again, we have to stop shopping at Manchester United, man. We've got Jadon Sancho the season before. Now Garnacho. What are we doing? Here's Malo Gusto. Onto the right-hand side. Here's Estevao Willian. Nearly making the perfect impact off the bench. Neto. Wesley Fofana. Might have to bring on João Pedro to play that number 10 position instead of Pedro Neto. Neto on the right hand side is a real waste for us. Here's Garnacho. Enzo Fernandez. Wesley Fofana. Now Neto again. poor ball, but we get fortuitous in terms of getting the corner. It's been corner after corner as Chelsea fans trying to just get a bit of atmosphere going. It's been a turgid first half. The second half hasn't been any better. Nearly 10 minutes into it as yet another corner as Pedro Neto delivers. This time towards the far stake, towards the centre. Ooh, that might have been a handball. Tame appeal. Quickly waved off as Sanchez finds Jarell Hato. Here's Enzo Fernandez. We'll need his passing range to try and unlock the defence as Benoit Badiashiel's header is a curious one. Here's Orsic. Neto does well off the ball. Oh, Esteval's pass has to be better. There's a foul there on Pedro Neto again. That's a needless foul. Ken Sema picks up a yellow card. He would have been favoured if he just ran and intercepted the ball. Instead decides maybe to just put an arm around Pedro Neto, who went down. Yep. I mean, that is minimal contact. The ball did strike the arm of the skipper Vlad Dragomir. Might have struck both arms, but again they are not extended. Came off his head. Yep, did strike both his hands. Would be a harsh pen though. Free kick for Chelsea. Over 10 minutes into the second half. Jay Gota being tested by that Esteval Willian right-footed volley. Other than that, Chelsea have really not unlocked the defence here. There's been a lot of balls into the box. PAFOS have defended them all very well. Neto looks to deliver. Decent ball in. Again, oh, the keeper was in no man's land. Any sort of shot on target, and it's probably 1-0 to Chelsea. Jay Gota, rush of blood to the head. Going to try and clear out everything in his side, but it's a corner again for Chelsea. This time will be Enzo Fernandez at the near side. Again, just clear the front post. I'm not asking for much. Reece James kept targeting that front post. As Enzo Fernandez whips it with a better ball in. It's cleared away. It's Malo Gusto. It's a poor strike on the volley. And Jaja on the counter-attack. He's got the pace. Garnacho does very well to help out defensively, and the combination of him and Malo Gusto, Chelsea win the ball back. Gusto finds Caicedo. Now Pedro Neto. Can Chelsea have two players on that right wing? Very curious decision by Liam Rossinier. Fofana. Neto again. He's got a lot of space and time to put this ball in. Garnacho's header. Not enough in terms of a contact. Manny, you're asking something that I have no idea about. I mean, I don't have the commentary on, so I don't know what the news was at the bridge. Certainly has to be an injury for Philip Jorgensen. But I don't see any sort of contact that he had in the first half. I mean, he had absolutely nothing to do in that first 45 minutes. Might be something to do with distribution, but yep, I'm reaching here. I really have no idea. I mean, Esteval had to come on, but I'm very, very surprised that one of the wingers, either Garnacho or Pedro Neto, didn't come off, because it's been really poor. Here's Wesley Fofana. My sources tell me Jorgensen has been drafted by the Danish military at halftime. Yep, that's as good as reason as any. Here's Malo Gusto. Thanks for a bit of a laugh there, Manny, because there's been nothing to smile about in this Chelsea performance here. Nearly an hour played at the bridge. It's been really poor. Here's Esteval. Decent ball in, but it's cleared away. There's Moises Caicedo. Chelsea haven't tried anything different in this second half. It's just balls in the box. I mean, it's very low IQ play from the Chelsea boys here. Enzo Fernandez. Moises Caicedo. Neto playing as a number 10. Does make my eyes bleed. Here's Caicedo. Fofana. Into the 60th minute. Chelsea yet to test Jay Gordon enough in the second half yet. Here's Esteval Willian now. Pedro Neto. Neto rides the challenge. Please don't shoot, Neto. He does strike, and it's a decent save. But it was straight at the goalkeeper. Neto has been shooting at sight. Needs to stop shooting. Definitely has to stop shooting. And as I say that, he might just score from distance, but it's a low percentage effort. Enzo Fernandez finds Alejandro Garnacho. Clever pass there by Enzo. Beautiful pass there by Neto. Oh, Garnacho looking very clumsy again, but that's a needless foul. Oh, Felipe, what are you doing there? I mean, thanks for the free kick, but that is extremely poor from him. That's that Pedro Neto strike. Took a slight deflection. Good adjustment there by Jay Gorda. Well, Juventus scoring means that Chelsea, as it stands, are in 14th. I mean, I've made my peace that Chelsea will have to go through the playoffs. I don't see how we're going to reach the top 8 here, especially if we drop points. I mean, dropping points today would be absolutely unacceptable. Some curious decisions by Liam Rosinha in terms of team selection and substitutions. Half an hour remaining as Enzo Fernandez. Poor ball in. Takes a deflection out for a corner. Felipe with a stooping header gets that away from the danger area. 30 minutes remain here at the bridge. Chelsea lackluster to say the least. I mean, need to win desperately. Exactly, Manny. I mean, how are we in this position, man? Okay, we find ourselves in this position. We are up against PAFOS at home. Get the job done. Enzo Fernandez scoops it to Garnacho. Garnacho's on the right-hand side now. Looks for the cutback. Terrible. Garnacho has dropped a Hall of Shame performance at the bridge here today. Here's Neto now. Look at Garnacho. How can you not control the damn ball? Get him off the pitch, man. I mean, Liam Rosinha, I hope he's watching the same match as we are. That is so bad. Look at Garnacho. Is he drunk? I'm not sure, but what a pass that is from Badiashile. It's Estevao. It's a brilliant block. Felipe with the last-ditch interception. Badiashile opens up the defense with the most cleverest of touches here. Look at this. Estevao is clearly onside. Takes an extra touch. Felipe does so well. Benoit Badiashile. The clever flick touch. Once again, another corner for Chelsea. Ball into the box. Safety first approach. Taken by Anderson Silva. Another corner for Chelsea. Again, all the stats in our favor, but quality really lacking. But since Estevao has come on, looking a lot more threatening. 12 corners for Chelsea. We have made none of them count as Pedro Neto delivers the ball in. Oh, terrible. Our delivery from set pieces has been absolutely dog shit, man. I mean, what is this? Keep putting balls into the box. Get worse and worse. Again, I'm not sure as to why the foul was given there, because Pilias and Fofana both have a hold of each other. Fofana doesn't do too much wrong. Chelsea do have the ball back though. Pedro Neto. And Neto down the right-hand side really is an eyesore. And he's been playing 90 minutes for us week in, week out, man. I mean, really need to be freed from the shackles of Pedro Neto. Find the pass. Oh my goodness me. If he's not the first person to come off when the next change has been made, I'm going to be losing faith in Liam Rosinha altogether, man. He has to see something better. Surely Jamie Gittins can't be worse than Garnacho and Pedro Neto. Yes, they have the goals and assists, and you can throw all the statistics at me, especially against deep blocks. These two are not the solution. Here's Garnacho. Okay, look at that pass from Garnacho, man. He's a shocking footballer. Estevao William, though, tries to go on the outside. Decent feet, but out for a goal kick. All her attacks have just died at the wings here. Double substitution for PAFOS. Anderson Silva. His evening will come to an end, not having the impact in the forward areas. Has helped out defensively though, especially with the 12 corners that Chelsea have had. He comes off the pitch. Jaja will be coming off as well. Yep, Jaja and Anderson off. Keena and Dimata coming on. He says Delap also has been nowhere. Liam Delap is a shocking signing, man. I will go to my grave with that opinion. To replace Nico Jackson with Liam Delap, whoever made that decision needs to leave the club for us, man. £30 million for Liam Delap. Again, talk about money being burnt. Talk about our wing options. Even Liam Delap, I mean, he's had a cardio session at best. Surely Joao Pedro has to come on for us. I mean, it's getting desperate now. 25 minutes remaining. And oh, there's a chance here for the substitute. And he nearly makes the impact. A lot of absolutely nothing. Chelsea nearly concede. Oof. Hi, Ariana. She just says Chelsea. But I haven't been feeling Chelsea today here as Wesley Fofana bursting forward here. It's Alejandro Garnacho. What a block that is. Derek Luckerson, talk about last ditch. I was sure that Alejandro Garnacho was going to get the ball in the back of the net. Brilliant bit of play there. Garnacho opens the body up. What a block that is from Derek Luckerson. Well, Chelsea have their... It's not going to be a corner. Here's Jarell Hato. Come on, Chelsea need to turn it up now. Hato to Enzo Fernandez. Shifts the ball back to Benoit Badiashile. Here's Malo Gusto. Decent ball in. It's Enzo Fernandez. Thought about the shot. He's closed down. Garnacho again. Fernandez. Hato. Chelsea looking to turn it up now. Here's Moises Caicedo. A lot of space opening up. Caicedo! Great shot away. Punched away. It's Estevao down the right-hand side. Good feet shown. Here's Malo Gusto now. Cross comes into the box. Oh, surely a foul there. As Garnacho's header. Not enough. Enzo Fernandez seems to have got a whack on his face. Have a look as to what the decision was. Decent ball in by Malo Gusto. Nope, there's not enough there. Enzo Fernandez trying to buy a pen. That was a decent strike there by Moises Caicedo. He's had 3 strikes at goal. And Jay Gordon at all occasions has punched that away nicely. Enzo Fernandez, I'm not sure why he's still on the ground here. Is that a poke in the eye or something else? I'm not sure, but a double substitution. Might be a triple sub being readied here by Liam Rossinier, Joao Pedro and Jamie Gittins coming on. Marc Cucurella also might be coming on here. We'll wait and see. Enzo Fernandez back on his feet. Manny says Caicedo and Estevao are the only ones today striking it decently. Yep, that's absolutely true. They're the only ones who have been really potent going forward. One of them is an 18-year-old. Just come off the bench. Garnacho, Delap, Pedro Neto. Less said the better. Look at that Pedro Neto touch, man. Oh my goodness me. He better be the one off. I mean, he plays 90 minutes for us. I mean, that was my biggest gripe with Enzo Maresca. I mean, he talked about Pedro Neto's out of possession work. I mean, as a winger, your best quality cannot be your work off the ball. It's got to be on the ball stuff. He's been terrible. Garnacho even worse. And Garnacho came very close to opening the scoring. A triple substitution, Liam Delap. If you cannot hack it against PAFOS, my friend, I have no hopes for you. Heading into the final 20 minutes. Bye-bye, Garnacho. And could have scored. But my oh my, has he had a terrible performance. Jamie Gittins, please rescue us. Mark Cucurella also making his way. Delap, Garnacho and Hato off. Joao Pedro, Gittins and Cucurella on. Look at that. It's going to be another 90 minutes for Pedro Neto, man. Liam Rossigne, open your eyes. I mean, you talk about him being in the leadership group, almost made me throw up. If he's in the leadership group, we are finished as an institution. Here's Mark Cucurella. Now Enzo Fernandez on the left-hand side. Jamie Gittins now playing as the left winger. Here's Gittins on the ball. Come on, be positive here. Gittins. Enzo Fernandez. 20 minutes remaining here at the bridge. What a shocking second half this has been. Neto does well. Esteval. Just don't keep crossing the ball here. Esteval thought about the shot. Decides to find Mark Cucurella. Now Gittins. He's in the box. Gittins shimmying and shaking. Leaves the ball short but well defended. Here's Benoit Badiashile. Strides forward onto the right hand side. Pedro Neto's ball in. Oh, he just puts aimless balls into the box, man. So tired of him. Here's Esteval Willian. Tries the flip-flap. Easily defended by Ken Sema. And Ken Sema's on a yellow card. And he's might have thrown an arm at Esteval Willian. Needs to get back onto his feet as quickly as possible. Here's Mark Cucurella now down the left-hand side. I swear, Manny, another 25 minutes of Pedro Neto. Makes me just want to scoop my eyeballs out. Give him the number 7 jersey as well. Shocking, shocking player. Here's Neto. I mean, if there's ever a player that goals and assists should never be judged on, that's Pedro Neto, man. Even Garnacho, I'm going to put him in that category as well. No amount of goals and assists will gaslight me into thinking these are good players for Chelsea. I mean, it's gotten to the stage where I'm really hoping Mykhailo Mudryk comes back and saves us in terms of the wing plays. That's how desperate things are getting. Here's Caicedo. This is going to be 0-0, isn't it? I can't believe it, man. Chelsea will have to go through the playoffs, but we don't deserve to be in the top 8. Get out of here. Jamie Gittins struggling to get away from Felipe. That's a needless foul, and Gittins picks up a yellow card. Great. My word. Our wingers look so clumsy, man. Can't control the ball. Jamie Gittins tried to lunge there. Catching Quina. Quina and Di Marta, the two substitutes for Albert Lopez's side. They've really put a job here on Chelsea, but Chelsea have made it easy for PAFOS. Far too easy. I mean, how silly of me thinking that Chelsea would beat the side that are 29th out of 32 at home. There are 2 performances at home. Brentford were ahead of us in the Premier League, so you kind of give it a pass, but this one is absolutely unacceptable, man. Liam Rossigne, you better start coaching these boys. Here's Cucurella. Finds Caicedo. Cucurella again. Wesley Fofana down the right hand side. Esteval Willian. And trying to commit a few players forward. PAFOS trying to double up when Estevao has the ball. There's Enzo Fernandez into the box now, trying to do too much by his lonesome. Kenya does very well. Throw in for PAFOS into the 75th minute. 0-0 at the bridge. Cannot believe this, man. I can't, but I can, if you know what I mean. That game against Arsenal really did fool me. I mean, I thought Chelsea were on to something. Yes, we lost 3-2. But those 2 goals that we did concede were Rob Sanchez errors rather than Arsenal doing something spectacular. Thought we were very good on the ball. Did a few decent things. Mark Yu was starting as the centre forward up against Saliba and Gabriel. So probably I wasn't expecting much. When the expectations are on, Chelsea have just flattered to deceive. This is going to be a long end to the season, man. Almost want the season to end right here, right now. Here's Caicedo. Cucurella. Caicedo again. He's had 3 attempts. And Estevao has been immediately crowded out. Kenya does well. And it's cleared away. Good first touch there by Benoit Badiashile. Enzo Fernandez. He's been robbed off the ball quite comfortably. Caicedo wins the ball back nicely. Joao Pedro, Chelsea turning it up here. Estevao down the left-hand side takes a couple of extra touches. Tries to do too much by himself. Out for a goal kick. Joao Pedro and Enzo Fernandez linking up there. Much better. Chelsea, just get a goal, man. There's Liam Rosenior's pops. Leroy Rosenior. Caicedo's had a good game. Again, he has been largely untroubled in terms of any sort of defensive work. Had a few shots as Gusto puts the ball into the box. Taking yet another deflection, and I think that is Chelsea's 14th corner. Ken Sema's header takes it safely, and PAFOS wouldn't mind conceding these corners, man. They can keep doing it because Chelsea have looked completely non-threatening with the set pieces. Neto's delivery. Decent flick on there. It's 1-0. Chelsea finally break the door open. And it is Moises Caicedo. He's been our most likeliest goal scorer. Caicedo scores a header. Can you believe it? Chelsea finally opened the scoring. My oh my, has it taken so much effort. I mean, it's taken nearly 15 corners. But Moises Caicedo rises the highest. That was a good header. And Chelsea finally have the opening goal. Really hope there's not going to be ruled out for any sort of a foul. Decent flick on header there by Wesley Fofana. That is outstanding by Moises Caicedo, man. Brilliant from him. Throws himself at the ball. Badiashile was wrestling Ivan Sunjic, but he was nowhere near the ball. It's not a Wesley Fofana assist. Rather, it's a Di Matta flick on. Gonna have a look. Caicedo battled. Got his header on target. Liam Rosenior finally celebrates. One 0 at the bridge. And you really have to feel for PAFOS, man. And yes, I'm all Chelsea, but they have played really well in terms of trying to get a point at the bridge, and they've been undone by a set piece. It's not like Chelsea got the flick on header as well. It was Di Matta's flick on header, which fell straight into the air for Moises Caicedo to attack. Caicedo had 3 shots on target, all well saved by Jay Gorda. But with that header, no chance for the goalkeeper. Chelsea finally have the goal. Oh my word. Took the best part of 75 minutes for the goal to come. Maybe a good time to look at the table now, but just going to have to wait a bit. Here's Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez, he's been dropped off the ball. Kenya does well, and that's a foul given. Well, Chelsea needing a set piece to open up the PAFOS defense pretty much sums up our 80 minutes on the pitch. There have been shots from distance. Alejandro Garnacho had a decent chance, which was very well blocked by Derek Lucassen. Other than that, the second half, lackluster to say the very least. Felipe's ball in, headed away by Wesley Fofana. Ken Sema now looking to cross the ball into the box. Oh, the header! Well, its last touch comes off Benoit Badiashile, and it's a corner for PAFOS. Ken Sema has been a great attacking outlet. What a great ball that is into the box. Whipped with pace. Mata's header took a deflection of Benoit Badiashile. Mislav Orsic to take this corner. His last set piece was pretty shocking. PAFOS conceded from a corner. Oh, another terrible ball in. Chelsea don't defend very well though. It's a strike from distance. It's on target there from Vlad Dragomir. Skipper catches that very well. Rob Sanchez with a comfortable enough save. Well, Barcelona have turned things around in spectacular fashion in the second half. It was 2-2 at half time. Now they're 4-2 up. Chelsea are in 7th. Hallelujah. How about that? One goal took us from 14th to 7th. That's how crazy this new format is. I wouldn't say new format anymore. It was introduced last season, but it's the first time Chelsea are participating in this new format in the Champions League. Chelsea are now 8th, with Newcastle scoring their 3rd. That table will keep on changing. Come on, Chelsea, we need another. Liverpool are 2-0 up at the Stadio Velodrome. Here's Wesley Fofana on the right-hand side. Neto finds Esteval Willian. The least Chelsea have to do is keep the clean sheet now. Another goal would be nice. Would be slightly cruel on PAFOS. But football is an unforgiving sport. Here's Marc Cucurella now. Enzo Fernandez gotten a lot of touches in this match. Caicedo, man who broke open the deadlock. Caicedo header is a rare sighting, that's for sure. Here's Jamie Gittins, burst past the challenge of Felipe. Lovely bit of skill there from Gittins. Oh, creates separation, decent ball in, it's cleared away. Out for a throw-in. Another double substitution for PAFOS here. Coach Albert Lopez looking to throw the kitchen sink here. Mislav Orsic is coming off. Been slightly disappointed with the Croatian. Yep, Orsic and Sema come off. Sema was very good down the left-hand side. As Langa and Masao Mina coming on for PAFOS. 7 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Chelsea looking to close the deal here. 1-0. The game is still on a knife's edge. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Finds Benoit Badiashile. Now Wesley Fofana. This is going to be back-to-back clean sheets for Chelsea at the bridge. It just might be. But the performance haven't been convincing. Pedro Neto shows great pace. Neto finding Esteval. Decent turn, but well defended. PAFOS can't get out. It's a throw-in for Chelsea. Neto showing great pace in the 84th minute. Finally, Manny, finally. Jeez. I thought it was going to be a comfortable win. Could be an enjoyable watch. It's been anything but. Again, all the statistics will be in our favor, but that does not fool me. I never look at the game with stats. Here's Jamie Gittins. Does well to create separation again. Decent ball in. Esteval. Oh, Esteval landed very awkwardly. That's my biggest concern. That is a really sore one for Estevao Willian. Went for the header. Decent ball in there by Jamie Gittins. That is very cynical from the substitute, man. He has no interest to try and attack that. Estevao's in the air. He just throws his hand at Estevao. Oof. Thankfully, he's back on his feet. That is very, very nasty. You're looking at the goal that Chelsea scored. The real melee in the box. Flick on header, unfortunately, from the PAFOS substitute. And Caicedo comes out of nowhere to attack that one. Might be a foul there for PAFOS, and it is. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the bridge. Liam Rossinier might be getting back-to-back wins at Stamford Bridge. First against Brentford, and now against PAFOS. Yellow card for Enzo Fernandez. Just 5 more goals today to get into 6th. We don't need to get into 6th. Just need to be in the top 8. 6th is unnecessary. I mean, it would be overkill. Considering we are 14th before the goal was scored. Don't be greedy, Manny. Albert Lopez can be very proud of the way his boys have gone out there and represented the badge. No shame in losing to Chelsea at the bridge. Be disappointed in the manner of which they conceded. Liam Rossinier has a lot of reflecting to do here. The games come thick and fast. Enzo Fernandez. Yep, man, this was supposed to be a goal difference match, man. It really was. In my mind, I was thinking 3-0, 4-0. That would be nice. How stupid was I? We'll just get the job done here and beat Napoli, and we should be okay in terms of trying to be in the top 8. Here's Benoit Badiashile. Sanchez, Gusto. First time Chelsea looking to build out the back. Haven't seen that for a long, long time. Here's Marc Cucurella. Decent pass to João Pedro. Right idea there with the flick, but Jamie Gittins can't get there first. Got to have been put under pressure by João Pedro. Decent header there by Di Matta. Here's Dragomir. Great feed there by Kenya. Dragomir again. Cucurella. Touch tight on the skipper. Throw in for PAFOS. 3 minutes per stoppage time remain at the bridge. Just blow the full-time whistle, man. Just take the win. We'll move on. We've got Crystal Palace and Napoli away next. Two very tough away grounds. Ball into the box. Sanchez, thankfully, comes and claims. Chelsea going to sleep here. What is up with that? Really good ball into the box. Again, nobody putting pressure. Somebody closed it down. Oh my word. Chelsea getting really cocky here. Rob Sanchez bails us out here. This is really, really poor in terms of trying to put the pressure on. They were queuing up there, the PAFOS players. Really good ball into the box. Malo Gusto has to do better to prevent the cross. Sanchez is brave. Takes a knock, but shakes that off. Michael's coming on for Dragomir. Is it Michael or Mikael? I'm not really sure. I'm not going to assume that. I've been falling PAFOS here. Yeah, Manny, I mean, this is Badiashile's biggest problem. He's got all the attributes, but he does switch off in matches. He makes some really scandalous mistakes as well. He's got every attribute that you need. He can defend the wide areas. He's good in the air. His passing is very, very good, but he does fall asleep. Remember the game against Aston Villa? We were 1-0 up. We were cruising. Villa barely laid a glove on us. Badiashile plays that blind pass into midfield, and then they score from it. And then, yep, 1 became 2, and Villa deserving the 3 points at the bridge. Liam Rossignol will be waiting for the full-time whistle here. 30 seconds of regulation time remain. Expecting about 5 to 6 minutes of stoppage time, considering all the subs that have been made. Few stoppages, all the set pieces that have taken place. Kenya wants to throw in, but he's not going to get it. Chelsea looking for 3 points here. Foolish of us to assume that it would be the game where Chelsea would improve our goal difference, but 3 points paramount. Again, Fofana, what are you doing? Oh my word, Chelsea are playing kamikaze football here. 4 minutes of added on time, thankfully added on. How are we so sloppy at the back here? We've had very little to do. And suddenly, just inviting pressure. Schoolboy stuff this. Chelsea do manage to clear. Estevao boots that forward. PAFOS will look to throw the kitchen sink at us. Decent ball in. Oh, lovely turn. And it's a harmless effort. It's a shot on target. Dimata. Lovely turn away from Benoit Badiashile. Creates a lot of separation there from Benoit. Badiashile has to do better. He's just lost his head in the last 5 minutes. Into stoppage time. Chelsea nearly home and dry. It's been a hard watch. But as it stands, Moises Caicedo, the difference maker, scoring from a corner with a header. Caicedo, this has been his best return in terms of goal scoring since joining the Blues. Good ball forward for Joao Pedro. Look how Joao Pedro makes the ball stick into the channels, man. Not once did Liam Delap make that run in the channels. He just stood in the central areas and he was completely ignored, and rightfully so. I mean, it was so tight in the central areas, and he makes the ball stick fair enough, but his movement needs to be a lot better. Is this Chelsea's 16th or 15th corner? It just might be. Enzo Fernandez shuffles across. And Enzo Fernandez, very average game from our second half skipper. PAFOS concede another. We'll talk about cruelty. It will be doubled. Enzo Fernandez looks to deliver this ball into the box. Decent ball in. Nobody really attacking that for Chelsea. Halfway through stoppage time. Decent ball there by Benoit Badiashile. Great fade on it. Here's Estevao Willian. Moises Caicedo finds Pedro Neto. Neto playing 90 minutes again. Liam Rossignol, please, please rectify the situation. It cannot continue to happen. Kitten shows great close control. Chelsea keep the ball. Badiashile to Moises Caicedo. I think PAFOS has just run out of steam now. Chelsea nearly there. 90 seconds of stoppage time remaining. Here's Neto. Estevao Willian. And that lovely right-footed volleyed effort after Enzo Fernandez dinked that ball towards the far stick. It's a tight angle, but a great strike. Immediate impact from the young 18-year-old. Here's Badiashile. Fofana. Up to Badiashile. Final minute of stoppage time. Sanchez finds where's Fofana. There's the match winner as it stands. Caicedo plays a nice pass. Clever there by Enzo Fernandez. Joao Pedro once again running the channels. Again, in the 10 or 15 minutes he's played, he has looked eons ahead of Liam Delap. Here's Pepe. Nice switch out down the left-hand side. Surely the last attack for PAFOS if they're trying to do something here. Good play there by Malo Gusto. Limits the supply. It's a throw-in for PAFOS. It's an opportunity for them to just really throw the kitchen sink. Commit everybody into the box. Never know if they win that first ball or a ricochet, something fortunate. Try and fall to them. 4 minutes of stoppage time has concluded here. And the referee blows the full-time whistle. Chelsea somehow escape at the bridge with a 1-0 victory. And it's back-to-back clean sheets for Liam Rossignol's men at the bridge. after that 2-0 victory against Brentford at the weekend. Moises Caicedo bails us out of trouble there. Thankfully, Moises Caicedo's header giving us the 1-0 lead as Chelsea taking all 3 points. Good night, Manny. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Really appreciate it, my friend. Chelsea getting the 3 points some way, somehow. Thankfully, from our point of view. Liam Rossinier at the bridge, looking to make amends, but he'll know the performances will have to improve here. Jay Gorda being beaten by a set piece. Of all the attempts that Chelsea have had, it's a set piece that unlocked PAFOS. Well, Chelsea end match week 7 in 8th position. This is exactly where we wanted to be, in the top 8. We were 14th when the scoreline was 0-0. Just showed you the urgency of the situation that we really did have to get all 3 points. Barcelona banging in the goals. They find themselves in 9th. Bayern Munich, I think they were 2-0 up against Union Saint-Gilloise. They're in 2nd position. Newcastle United with a 3-0 victory against PSV Eindhoven. They're in 7th. Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Newcastle, all in the top 8. And it's Manchester City. They're not in the top 8. I mean, how many of you thought that would happen after match week 7? Manchester City are going through one of these runs where they're really struggling to put results together. And having suffered that shock loss to Bodo Glimt away from home, 3-1 loss there for Pep Guardiola's men, means that Manchester City might have to go into the round of 16 through the playoffs. Chelsea getting the job done. It wasn't pretty, but just about effective. Liverpool getting the job done at the Velodrome against Marseille. I think it was 2-0 where the scoreline ended. Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, Newcastle, Chelsea. 5 out of the 6 clubs in the top 8 from the Premier League. Manchester City bringing shame to our great league. But Chelsea getting the job done. It was hard work, and we move on to 2 very, very tough away games. We got Crystal Palace away. They're going through quite a bit of turmoil themselves. I mean, they've sold Mark Gahey. Jean-Philippe Mateta has made it clear that he wants to probably leave the club at the end of this window. I know that Oliver Glasner has pretty much got one foot out the door. He's going to be out of the club now. Whether or not it's going to be, expect him to go at the summer. But considering Palace won the FA Cup 6 months ago, it's been quite the instability, unfortunately, for the London club. And such has been Oliver Glasner's luck, where he demands a bit of ambition, and it's been anything such. But Crystal Palace are a bit of a selling club, and that's the reality of the hierarchy of the Premier League. The big boys eat, and unfortunately, smaller clubs have to supply. Mark Gahey making that, £20 million move to Manchester City. He was going to make a £40 million move in the summer. Liverpool tried to get him on the last day, but that bid was rejected. Well, he was either going to go on a free, or they had to make a move in the winter window. Liverpool didn't go back. Manchester City throwing a massive wage package at Mark Gahey, and he moves to Manchester City, who are desperately in need of a defender because they've lost Josko Guardiol and Ruben Diaz. I think Guardiol might be back sooner, but Ruben Diaz might be out for a considerable amount of time. They're playing with one of the academy players. I don't remember his name. It's a bit confusing, but and Abdukodir Kusanov, Ali Alian or something like that. I'm probably getting it wrong or butchering his name. Apologies for that. And Abdukodir Kusanov, who's got a lot of pace and promise, but still not that presence such as the likes of Ruben Diaz and of course Josko Guardiol. Nearly 2 hour stream. I think it's time for me to wrap up here. Nearly 3:30 a.m. here in India. Thankfully, Chelsea getting the job done by hook or by crook. And from all the corners that we took nearly 15 or 16 corners. It took a bit of fortune and Moises Caicedo flinging himself to give us that lead. Caicedo, definitely our man of the match. Chelsea keeping back-to-back clean sheets at home. And he's asking, what do I think about the Beckham saga? It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Brooklyn Beckham trying to, what's that word? Emancipate? I'm not sure what's the legal term when you're trying to get away from your parents, but there is a lot of action happening behind the scenes. Brooklyn Beckham and his wife having issues with Victoria Beckham and David Beckham. There's going to be a lot of dirty laundry being aired in public. I mean, this is just perfect for the English press, isn't it? Any sort of news that they get in, like, scandal, they're going to take it and run away with it. Now you're going to see leaked texts, photographs, invasion of privacy. This is a nightmare scenario for David Beckham, who's been pretty private since retiring. He's had very few incidents off the pitch, but now he's going to have to deal with something slightly ugly with his son. Nobody really wants to see this happening. They're going to enjoy it. The British press will. So will a lot of people on Twitter, Instagram, you name it. It's going to be a feeding frenzy, unfortunately, for the Beckham family. Are you happy, Mr. Manny? A little bit of gossip before you go to sleep? Soja, bro. It's time for me to wrap up as well. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody who's joined this live stream. Thoroughly appreciate your support. Next game will be Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Chelsea needing 3 points there once again. Please, Liam Rosinia, fix up in terms of how we are set up on and off the ball. Pedro Neto should stop playing 90 minutes altogether, but that's a pipe dream. But we will wait and see. Annie, you ask him. You're the powerful man. You probably have David Beckham's phone number as well. Give him a call. Ask him, what's up? It's been a long stream. It's been a long day. And it's time to hit the bed. See you guys. I'll see you for Chelsea Crystal Palace on Sunday.